Welcome back. Look at those Saints. Those mighty,
Uh,
mighty, mighty Saints, yo.
Here you go.
Hey, look.
Uh,
Woo!
yeah,
Yo,
they did their thing. I ain't got nothing more to
beat
say.
the brakes off y'all.
Yeah, where we have one of these once a year where Dallas just does this for some unexplainable reason, and unfortunately, this was the one. The wrong.
Well, look, look. I mean,
Mm-mm.
I got to give credit where credit is due. You know what I'm saying? Look, when he was playing poorly, I called him out. Derek Carr, I always said, I didn't say he was a bad quarterback. Say he was an average quarterback. But now he's playing above average. He's playing elite football right now, and got to give credit.
Yeah, I mean, look,
he is playing awesome.
I think they said y'all had 15 straight drives.
Yep,
with touchdown.
Well, with a score, with a field goal or a touchdown.
No, it's a touchdown.
Now, well, we kicked some field goals in between that.
Yeah, but I think there was 15 drives though.
Right,
it was 7 against us.
yeah.
It was 7 against us. 7 straight touchdowns scoring drives.
Yeah.
And then I think you had like another 5 or 6, probably another 6 against Carolina. What?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We scored 44 against Carolina. 47 against Carolina, 44 against the Cowboys, 91 points in 2 games. Dude, it took nearly half the season for us to do that last season. Yeah. So this offense, and I got to give credit to Clint Kubiak, who's the new offensive coordinator, who's implemented the San Francisco, Denver Broncos, Falcons offense. You know, the Falcons played this when Kyle Shanahan was the offensive coordinator in Atlanta. And we've now implemented this offense, which is basically a run-first offense, where the stretch run looks just like the play-action pass. It makes it easy on the quarterback, and Carr, look, that touchdown pass, that 70-yard touchdown pass to Rashid Shaheed was a perfectly thrown ball.
Dallas had the defense that you're supposed to have to stop that.
Yeah. Y'all were playing 2 deep safeties. And he blew past both of them, but then it still had to be a perfectly thrown ball because he had a defender bearing down in his face. Yep. And I gotta give Carr credit for that. That was a perfectly thrown ball.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Right in the bread basket, kept running, he had to lose stride, nothing. Kept running.
This is the second week in a row he did that. He threw a touchdown pass.
The exact same play. Exact same play. Yep. Same person, same play. And they beat double coverage. I think that was 2 over top coverage too.
Yep.
That was just one of the worst defensive displays I've ever seen from Dallas. It was simple stuff. It was quite simple stuff. I guess it was just technique that Kubiak was teaching on that. As far as why our defensive ends could not get to the outside of those damn sweeps, it was just dumb. It was sweep left, sweep right, sweep left, sweep right. Then hit you with the middle screen. Then run one time in the middle, then hit you with the play action, deep middle cross.
Yep.
Or the deep joint like Shaheed had. It was just stupid, man. It was basically the Saints did whatever they wanted to do on offense.
Yep.
This was worse than Dallas played against Green Bay in the playoffs.
Yeah. I would agree with you. I think it was a worse. We had 35 points at halftime.
Yeah, and that was a true 7 points. It wasn't like a pick six, no defensive touchdowns, no special teams. It was straight all offense.
No, nothing flaky. No fumble recovery for a touchdown. No kickoff return.
No turnover. One of them was a turnover. It was 1 pick in it, but still, I ain't stopped nothing.
Yeah, but I think
it was like a 50-yard drive, a 50-yard drive, a 70-yard drive. It was crazy. 60-yard drive. They were long drives.
But I think the pick came after Derek Carr was intercepted, right? Because I think you guys got an interception, and then we intercepted it back. It was just one of those.
Yeah.
Because, like I told you before, you disagree with me, but our defense is top 10. Our defense is nice.
It's top 10? Okay.
Top 10.
It looked like it in that one game. The first game was Carolina, but we'll see. Y'all didn't even have Lattimore out there, did you?
No,
I don't even think Lattimore played.
But he Like Lattimore is nice. He's elite. But Adebo is just as good. So he's gonna get paid. Yes,
the corner?
The other corner, number 29. He had an interception in this game. He's just as good. That's why I kept telling you the secondary is nice. Our defensive line has taken a step back. We used to have a nice defensive line, but that's taken a step back. But we're making up for it with the defensive backs because Marshawn Lattimore is 1A and Paulson Adebo is 1B because he's just as good. And then our slot corner, Alante, number 1, very physical, very good cover corner, very good, right? That's our slot corner. And then we got Kool-Aid McKinstry, who came from Alabama, who's playing very nicely as a rookie defensive back. So we got 4 really good cornerbacks out there playing solid defense, playing great defense. And then you got the Honey Badger out there as the strong safety. So we are loaded in the back end.
Right.
I feel good about it, man. I look.
It sounds good. I mean, hey, y'all pretty much, I don't say completely shut it down, but y'all playing good on us. But once we went down, we was kind of one-dimensional. Cowboys one-dimensional, and then y'all got to pin your ears back.
Yep.
And y'all wasn't even really sending no blitzes or nothing. Y'all was getting there with 4.
Yep.
That was kind of pissing me off too, as well. It was just a disastrous game for the Cowboys. I just don't understand what they were doing. I mean, it was a night and day. It was night and day. Everything was night and day from the Cleveland game. Everything. I mean, the offense. I'm starting to see that we got deficiencies at offense or at receiver, like very, very bad. Because once you go past Cooks, it's real shaky. 3rd and 4th receiver, very, very shaky.
You think that's the problem? I think you'll have no running game.
Well, that too, but that
none
stems from the line because we got issues at offensive line.
Who's your starting running back?
It's Zeke.
You don't think that's the problem? You got an old washed up running back now.
Well, I mean, he actually was pretty serviceable last year with the Patriots. I don't know if you looked at his stats, but he was actually pretty serviceable with the Patriots
on a bad team.
And I mean, yeah, on a bad team, but he was still serviceable on that team, on that bad team.
Okay.
He not completely washed up. He ain't the fast Zeke from 2016. No.
Right.
8 years ago. No, he ain't that. But shit, I mean, Kamara is the same age as Zeke.
Oh, they're not the same age. Zeke is 29, almost 30. Kamara is...
He's like, got to be 27, 28.
Oh, yeah, he's 29.
Kamara, he got to be up there.
Yeah, I didn't think he was that old.
At least.
Well, he going to get paid. He about to get paid.
He got to at least be up there. I mean, at one point, they thought he was washed up. He was going downhill.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have any miles. He doesn't have a lot of miles on him like Zeke does.
Yeah, because he didn't come out just being the number one.
He shared the load.
Exactly, for like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. Oh, more than that. More than that. From the moment he was in the league until probably I think maybe 2 or 3 years ago when Mark Ingram didn't re-sign. So majority of his career, he had Mark Ingram.
Well, shoot, for the last 4 years, he's been there by himself at least.
Yeah,
because Mark Ingram didn't play last year.
No.
Then he played the year before that, but that's him coming back. He played with y'all, right? Didn't he play with y'all like the year before that?
Yeah, like maybe it was 2 years ago.
He was with the Ravens.
Yeah, but we had what is his name? We had another good running back that shared the load with him. I can't think of his name right now. He's a pretty tall running back. Yeah, after Ingram, we didn't re-sign Ingram. Ingram signed with the Ravens, and then we picked up. Oh man, I can't think of his name.
Nobody after that.
Yeah. He shared the load with another running back. That worked out really good for. We kept him for like 2 or 3 years, and then we got Ingram back. I can't think of his name right now. His name escapes me.
All right, I had to look that up.
Yeah,
I don't remember. I remember him having a full backfield for about 4 years.
Been about 2
by himself. I mean, somebody probably in there with him, but I mean, he had definitely like 90% of the work back there.
Yeah. Past 2 years, no question about that. Past 2 years, he's had the majority of the work, but he shared it with another running back. I'll look him up because I can't think of it right now. Who was pretty good for us, man. I liked him, but he was up there in age too. Yeah. Latavius Murray.
Oh, Latavius Murray, that wasn't no shared backfield. Stop
Yeah.
it. That was not no shared backfield, man.
There wasn't no shared backfield with Kamara.
No, that wasn't shared. I remember when Latavius did. That wasn't no shared backfield.
Wow. Okay.
They wasn't even close to split the carries. It was more like 75-25.
I would say it was
Murray.
more like 50-50 or 60-40. They
You
were
want to talk
sharing the
about
load.
old to wash up? Latavius Murray is probably about 9 years at that point.
Yeah, he was towards the tail end of his career.
He played back with Darren McFadden.
Yeah.
That's how long ago he was playing in the league.
Yeah, that was at the tail end of his career.
He was splitting carries with Darren McFadden, yo.
And jumping in Oakland, right?
Yep, in Oakland. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because see, in 2020, he had 656 yards rushing. 2019 had 637. And
Latavius?
Yeah, Latavius.
Yeah, 637. Wow. I'm
637 in 2019 and 656 in 2020. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Kamara, he's never rushed for 1,000 yards in the season.
Right, but he get his in receptions though. He get receptions and reception yards.
Yeah, so
total give you like 1,300 or something like that.
Yeah, in total yards.
Yeah, in total yards.
Yeah, but running the ball, taking it handoffs. Yeah, he was sharing the load. And that's kind of how his throughout his career. So I mean, point is, doesn't have a lot of miles on him. So he can probably play up into his early 30s. But anyway. And why not give him some credit too? I mean, 20 carries, 115 yards. I mean, he was all over the field. He had the big 57-yard touchdown catch, screen pass.
Yeah, it was a screen.
I mean,
y'all was winning with simple stuff, man. And the Dallas defense was just nowhere to be found. I don't want to take credit away from y'all, but seriously, if Dallas played against like that against anybody, and I don't know, like I said, we'll see if it's just technique because we got to play the Ravens this week. But if Dallas plays like that against anybody, and I've seen them get smoked like that before, right? Doing the same type of stuff. Dallas was going to get smoked against anybody playing that day. They just didn't look good. They just didn't look good.
But you got to consider, I think it's the scheme along with the personnel, right? You got a Christian McCaffrey type running back type player in Alvin Kamara. So you're getting the same results. You're getting the same type of impact that Christian would.
He's not Christian McCaffrey, man. Come on. He Christian McCaffrey. Is he Christian McCaffrey?
They were on the same level. They were drafted the same year. And
man.
Yeah,
nobody.
He's a dynamic.
Fans gonna say that Alvin Kamara is on the same level as Christian McCaffrey.
No. Listen to what I'm saying. He's the same type of back.
Okay.
He can take the handoff and run the ball. He can catch the ball out of the backfield and be a dynamic receiver. So he gives you the elements that you saw in the 49ers offense. And then we got a lot more motion
and
a lot more play action
Kubiak
passes.
And Kubiak is from the Shanahan tree.
He's from the Shanahan tree. He's giving you a lot of the Shanahan stuff that we've seen, the play action passes, the stretch run plays.
Kubiak. He's Gary Kubiak's son, right?
He is Gary Kubiak's son. Okay. So we've seen those elements, and I'm just saying you got a running back that fits the mold that they're looking for, and that's Alvin Kamara. So you got a great combination of scheme and talent. And then you got the super fast receiver, Rashid Shaheed, that a lot of people didn't know about. But we ended up finding this dude, was it last season or the season before? Season before,
yeah. I mean, he was having little flashes of that. He would have them long plays like that, but he just wasn't getting them often enough. Wasn't enough. I guess it wasn't going often enough.
No. Well, I mean, we wasn't doing a lot of play action passes. I mean, our offense, especially when you fall behind, you run. When you fall behind, you lose the element of going to the run and playing off the run because now you're playing catch up and the game changes. And then you gotta lean on Derek Carr. And I don't know if we can lean on him. He's not back there, licking his fingers like he paid Manning talking about some Omaha. I think he fits.
Hey, maybe he just took the right system. I don't know. Remember Rich Gannon?
That's what I was about to make that comparison.
He was like, just regular quarterback till you hit that Gruden system.
Until you reach that Gruden system.
Next thing you know, he MVP.
Yep. So this might be the case. Now, It doesn't happen that often where a quarterback that's been in the league for 11, 12 years, right, is able to break out of who he is and become something better, find the right system. So maybe we got that right now. And I pray to God that that's what we got, because I'm excited about what I saw these first two games.
Right now, he's playing the best of any quarterback in the league.
Exactly. And he's
right. I don't think it's close to even right now.
But
he probably got the highest quarterback rating. He probably got the highest throwing percentage. Probably got the most yards.
No, doesn't have the yards.
He don't have the yards.
He hadn't thrown. He hadn't been throwing a lot.
Oh yeah, you know what? He only threw the ball 11 times, but he had 240 something yards though.
He threw the ball 16 times. He completed 11 of the passes. 11 completions for 243 yards.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
But that's brilliant. That's keeping him efficient. You know, you don't lean on him. You know, and that's not the knock on Carr. That's perfect for this type of system that we're running. It's perfect for him. It fits him. You don't want to force him to win the game for you. You know what I'm saying? And he's doing that because, like, what was that? The game against the Panthers, he was let me see what he threw. Here it is. He was 19 of 23, efficient, keeping the passing numbers within the 20 range. They doesn't need 30, 40 passes a game. Keep it around 20. Keep him efficient. Keep him upright. Keep him throwing touchdowns. Love it.
Right.
So here's the thing we need to bring up. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. So, you know, last week we had a bet. The loser had to wear a Saints jersey. Had to wear the opposing team's jersey. I don't want to bury the lead, but let's spare the lead. Had to wear the opposing team jersey and take a picture and use it as their profile picture. Unfortunately, I did not include in that bet to post it on the podcast.
Yeah, because if you lost, you wouldn't even thought about doing it. That's why. That's why you didn't include that in the bet.
I should have included that in the bet. Now,
of course, after the fact,
his Facebook page is blowing up, but he doesn't want me to post it on the podcast, so our podcast listeners can see this.
That wasn't in agreement. You trying to add stuff on the end. But, you know, it took you 10 years to finally take the bet, first of all. You know, took you 10 years and about 3, 4, 5 games in between the last time, you know. But okay. Just keep the energy. That's all I'm saying.
But don't lie. You were pretty confident.
It was the weekend of upsets. It was the weekend of upsets. Everybody lost. All the top teams, quote unquote, lost. So, you know, just throw us in that bag. You know, that's the wild NFL. You know what I'm
saying? And the beauty of it, you could have worn that jersey and took the picture at halftime because they all getting blown out. It was 35-16 or 19 or something like that at halftime. The game was over. You should have just put it on. And look, you know, don't invite me to places like that, man. I was jumping up and down, wilding out. You know, people looking at me. I'm so used to being in my basement throwing stuff at the screen at my TV. You know.
Well, as you can see, that's the environment to do it. I mean, that's the perfect football environment. You see all the football, all the action going on at the same time. 100-foot screens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was nice. And that's the FanDuel bar, sports bar.
Yeah, sports and social. So the sports and social is actually not part of FanDuel. Technically.
Okay.
Even though FanDuel is at other sports and socials, like the one in DC, that has a FanDuel as well.
Okay.
You know, but they claim they're separate. That's what they said, you know.
Okay. Like, it was a nice setup.
It is a very nice setup.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. So for our listeners, we're at Maryland Live.
And seeing if you're feeling real froggy, you went over there and put $100 on your team to win. And we got some plus money because they was -6.5, -5.5. So you know what I'm saying? You got yours. You got yours. You know
like I told you before.
Keep that energy. When playoff time comes, keep that energy.
Look, like I told you, when we first talked about doing this bet 10 years ago, I didn't want your money. I don't want you to buy me dinner. I don't want any of that. What's more rewarding to me is to see you in that Saints jersey and hat.
Okay.
Taking a picture and let everybody on your social media see you dressed like that for a week. That's satisfying for me. I don't care about nothing else. I don't want nothing else.
I get it. And people don't get to see my people when I got people when they get to bet against me to do the same thing, like the Washington fans and stuff like that. I done got them the same way. You know what I'm saying? Had to put their joint up for a week. You know. So
okay. All right. So you've been making the same bet with other people.
Oh yeah, I made sense. Yeah, the people who had the guts to do it, unlike somebody, it took 10 years to come back and do it again. But okay,
Well, I mean, we're all in play,
and their team was super sorry.
I'm just saying that we all rotate to play your division, once every 3 years, and
3 or 4 years. Yeah, so it's 2 other times when I offered this thing, and you was like, "Nah, I don't feel good. I don't feel comfortable about doing that." Now we're not comfortable. Yeah, okay.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, you don't know about that now.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
I would have made the bet. I mean, I felt good when Brees was our quarterback. I don't know what you're talking about. I felt real good. I would have made that bet.
No,
I don't know why I didn't make that bet when we had Teddy Bridgewater against y'all. I would have made that bet.
No, you didn't.
I would have made it.
I tried. Because I did every time we had that game. I tried. And you say, nah.
I definitely wasn't going to do it that game. I remember now when Taysom Hill was the quarterback and Alvin was out and y'all were rolling. I definitely wasn't making that bet. Nah.
Yeah, not that game.
Yeah, not that game. But anyway, look, it was a weekend of upsets. Not a weekend, a week of upsets. I mean, my picks were straight trash. I was 7-9 and you were 9-7. So you're still on a win streak, but still in all, I mean, a lot of surprises, man.
Yeah, I mean, all around. I mean, the Raiders going to Baltimore and beating them, and they were up 10 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Is it me or the Ravens have no killer instinct? They don't finish teams.
Nothing. There's no improvement from 4 years ago. They almost they feel like the same team. They got this good defense, quote unquote, with Lamar running. Now the thing was the caveat was supposed to be Derrick Henry's there now. Oh, now the run game's supposed to be on crack, and it really hasn't been.
To me, he slows them down. He doesn't add the wow factor. Yeah, he's lumbering through.
He don't have that burst he used to have. He don't have that burst. Like, you're not going to see him probably not going to see him running 70-yard, having 70-yard runs, 60-yard runs. You're probably not going to see that.
But when you think of the Ravens' run offense, you don't think of a power game. You know what I'm saying? You think of a finesse running team.
It's finesse read option.
Right.
And finesse read option.
And you added a power back.
Added a power back.
Yeah, who's not that good of a receiver out of the backfield. So it's like, it's obvious when he's in the game, they're running the ball up the middle.
Well, I would say this, right? He's not, I don't know if I say he's not a good receiver, but he's not ideal to be running routes, right? Because he's not quick.
Right.
But he definitely used to take some screens to the house with Tennessee. He definitely used to catch a screen and go 70 yards to the house. He definitely done it.
Well, how long ago was that? We hadn't seen him do that type of stuff in a while. We hadn't seen that in a while.
It's been a few years. It's definitely been a few years. But, I mean, as they went away from Tannehill and, went to the young quarterback and all that stuff, they became really, really one-dimensional. It was harder for him to do it, of course. And then, of course, he was getting older, too. You don't go be able to take that much punishment for so long. So he of course is going to start slowing down at the same time.
Yeah.
But it's so far it's not what it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I seen flashes of what it could be, but the thing is, I don't see them doing a separate thing like I thought I would see. I thought I would see them doing a read option where Lamar going to the side and then that linebacker in the defensive end had to make that decision.
Right.
If they crash down on Henry, we're going straight to the middle or try to stop him from getting to the outside.
They're not doing that.
And they're not doing that.
Yeah.
No. When I see them doing read option, Lamar's running up the middle sometimes.
Right, which is weird.
Yeah, you running right where Henry's at. And Henry's actually becoming a lead blocker.
Right. I don't really understand what they're doing. I think, if they wanted to go this route with Derrick Henry, they should have kept what was the offensive coordinator's name? Roman.
The one that went to
Greg
Seattle.
Roman.
Did he go to Seattle? I think
I'm
he
not
went to
sure.
Seattle, right?
I forget where he went. He went with some other team that has a good run game.
Right.
Yeah, but Greg Roman, they should have kept him because he would have designed some nice run plays that involve Derrick Henry.
Right.
And right now, they're just not. They just seem to be, the run-of-the-mill offense out there with a power back and a running quarterback. Doesn't make sense. But anyway, let's cover these games, man. Let's go back. Let's get back to the Thursday night game. Starting with the Thursday night game, we had the Dolphins at home against the Buffalo Bills. You and I both went with the Dolphins, and the Bills dominated this game from start to finish. And Tua suffered another concussion.
Oh, Hawk Tua is out of there, man. He's out of there. I mean, look, the type of injury he's getting now, they're so just regular tackles. I mean, I thought one of the ones before was bad when the guy just pushed him, he fell back, and then he get up and run and he fall down.
Right.
This one was like the tackle don't get much more regular and unpainful than this tackle. He puts his head down into Damar Hamlin of all people, and Damar Hamlin basically catches him. He don't even hit him. He just basically catches him, and they go down, and all of a sudden he's laying back.
Right.
Like people just landed on top of him or something, like somebody kicked him in the head. It was really, really weird, but it's showing how fragile he's gotten.
Yeah, which
he already had the stigma of being fragile coming into the league, but not head injury wise, but now you got the head injury, you're getting it real easy. There's so many times they're gonna allow that to happen.
Right, which is weird because he didn't have this problem when he was at Alabama.
No,
right?
Yeah, he had other problems.
He had other problems, right? I remember what was it, a championship game? I think it was a championship game. He got hurt, and then Jalen Hurts had to come in and finish the game and win the championship for him.
Yep, he hurt his hip.
He hurt his hip, yeah. But now these head injuries are happening way too often, and I'm really concerned for the young man. And I think he should call it quits. I mean, he got the bag now. Just call it quits. I mean, the Dolphins got that money insured. They'll be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't got to play no more.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, he's what's the next hit gonna be? It's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and he ain't gonna be throwing up gang signs the next time. It's gonna be gonna be some other issues. Now remember he took the hit. He was throwing up gang signs like this and stuff. Man.
Yeah, I thought his hand was broke for real. I thought his fingers literally were broke.
Right.
When I first saw it. I'm like, oh shit, his fingers dislocated, yo. Look at that joint. And that was just some mental neurological thing that was happening.
Right.
To make his nerves do that, make his hands go like that. Man, it was crazy. And then the worst part is when I really, really know he was gone, the walk off the field.
Right.
Walk off the field. Yo, it looked like he was struggling to keep his balance.
Right.
So he wouldn't fall down again. He was just kind of flopping. It's kind of like a little dazed flop. I don't know if people know the concussion walk, but it's like a little dazed kind of flop where your steps are not strong, and you just got this like little, just you're kind of plotting along, and it's not a regular, And I was like, oh yeah, look at the way he walking. He done.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he's at right now.
He probably did, man, and it's sad. It's sad to see, and I think his career as a Dolphin was pretty promising, but I think he might have to shut it down, man. It's just too dangerous. So
it's getting real bad.
So all right, let's go to the next game. Let's go to the next game on my ESPN list here. The mighty Cowboys. The Dallas mighty Cowboys at home, 6.5 point home favorites.
5.5 point at game time.
At game time, all right. Well, whatever. You're home favorites.
I got you.
Against them New Orleans Saints, baby. I mean, we turned out Dallas. They had a second line down the street. I mean, the whole stadium was filled with the Who Dat Nation in that joint.
Man.
Lovely to see.
We already talked about this game enough. We not gonna go into a whole nother separate section about this game. But 12 they broke a 16 game regular season streak in the worst way possible. Yeah, if they don't come back against the Ravens, which I think McCarthy after a loss since he's been in Dallas is 12-2 after a loss. So we'll see.
All right, we'll talk about that when we get to the picks. We'll talk about that when we get to the picks. But big win for the Saints. I'm loving every minute of it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go to Facebook and take a look at the profile picture of yours. Just a minute. Just to remind me. Anyway, next we had the Lions at home against the Bucks. I went with the Lions. You went with the Bucks on this one. Lions was 7.5-point home favorites, and the Bucks won this. Yeah, the Bucks are solid, man. I got to give them props.
Did the Bucks play the Lions last year as well?
Yeah, they lost some in the playoffs.
Yeah. Won the game close. It was a close game, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I mean, but the Lions kind of pulled away at the end.
Right. And that's where I kind of had in my memory about that. That last time they played them, I don't remember the Lions like really getting off on them like that per se.
Mm-hmm.
And their offense just seems a little better this year. This Baker in the second year of the offense, so I just kind of thought that they'd probably edge it out.
Yeah, but I mean, the Lions were at home, so I was thinking the Lions will pull us out, beat them again. Like if the Bucks were at home, I would have went with a revenge win for the Bucks. But nope, good game. Baker Mayfield threw for 4 touchdowns. He's looking real sharp. Making that contract that they gave him look like a bargain.
Right, and is that 8 touchdowns he has now? I think he has 8 touchdowns. Didn't he have 4 touchdowns last week?
No, because Derek Carr leads the league in touchdown passes.
Really? He got to be right. They got to be tied, yo.
You think so?
Unless Derek Carr got 9 touchdowns.
No,
because I know he at least threw 2 to Mike Evans and 1 to Godwin last week, and then he had 4 this week. So that's 7.
Well, I mean, Derek Carr has 5, so maybe he has 5 with Derek Carr because Derek Carr is tied for first with 5 touchdowns.
Ooh.
So, I mean, it does seem kind of odd because I would have thought Baker Mayfield had more touchdowns than that because he threw 4 this week.
Well, no. He threw 1 this week, and he had 4 last week, so he tied. They're tied. I think he had 4 last week.
He had. Okay.
Right? Yeah. No, my bad. No. I'm sorry. I said that wrong.
Yeah. No, I said that wrong. I said it wrong. I said he had 4 touchdowns. No, that's he has 5 touchdowns on the season. He threw 1 touchdown against the Lions.
Right. And he had 4 last week.
He had 4 last week, so he's tied for first. So who would have guessed 2 of the best quarterbacks in the league were going to be in the NFC South?
No bull.
And this is why they play the games.
Hey, flip flop. That's the NFL, man.
That's the NFL, man.
Unpredictable NFL.
Yeah, but I think also that's because coaches moving. Coaches are moving around, systems are changing, philosophies are changing, and some of these teams that's struggling, that got defensive coordinators that need offensive coaches, are looking for these young up and coming offensive coordinators and bringing them in. Like Clint Kubiak, he wasn't an offensive coordinator, but I don't think he didn't call the plays in San Francisco. He may have been an offensive coordinator. I thought he was a passing game coordinator, and then they brought him in, and he brings that philosophy. He's got a new way of doing things, and man, and just as well as the Bucks, because remember the Bucks lost their offensive coordinator, Canellis. He's the head coach in Carolina. So they got a guy that I forget what his name is, but he came from the Rams, and he worked with Baker when he was with the Rams. So they got a good connection between those two. Okay. All right. Next, this was a shocker for me. We had the Packers at home against the Colts. The Colts with 3-point road favorites because Jordan Love wasn't playing and Malik Willis was starting for the Packers.
Malik Willis.
And the Packers won this game with Malik Willis. Surprised me.
That's the NFL, man. I can't even explain this game. What was happening? because I thought Malik Willis was washed, and he basically used his legs. He wasn't throwing a whole lot. It wasn't like he was back there flinging it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But he was hitting them with short passes, basically short passes here and there, and running the ball. And just really, I mean, with his legs, using his legs the other times, you know what I'm saying? And the Packers defense, they held.
Well, they do have a good defense.
Yeah, they held Indy down to 10 points. I mean, if you hold any team to 10 points, you should win that game.
You should win the game. Exactly. But I don't know, did something happen to Jonathan Taylor? Because he was actually running well against the Packers. He ended the game 12 carries. He only had 12 carries for 103 yards, and I wasn't sure what happened. I think he may have gotten injured in this game.
Not that I remember. I don't remember seeing him get injured. But it seemed like every time I saw him, he had gains. He was on the sideline. I mean,
I thought so too. I just didn't understand why it stopped with just 12 carries.
That is a good question. That is a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, that's weird. I'm gonna have to look deeper. I didn't watch that game, even though it was on every game. I wasn't paying close attention to it, but I don't understand why he didn't get a lot of touches.
He averaged 8 yards a carry.
Yeah, he was killing them. So either that's bad coaching, or he got hurt. But because Anthony Richardson threw 3 interceptions in this game.
Right. Their defense, like I said, their defense held it down, and then they just between Willis and Jacobs, they had 38 carries. So Jacobs had 32 carries for 151, and Willis had 6 carries for 41. You know what I'm saying? So that's 38 carries right there.
Right.
And then they still had another 13, 14 carries between other players. So yeah, they were running the ball. Basically, Willis only had to throw 14 passes. He completed 12 of them, though.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, if he has that other element where he can run the ball, I mean, I guess that helps you out.
Oh yeah, he still can use his legs. Now, if anything, he's going to use his legs for sure. If anything, But we're gonna see how that pans out, because he's probably gonna be playing for the next few weeks. Is that just how bad Indy is? Is that showing you how bad Indy is and how limited Richardson is? Or is it just showing the Green Bay defense is for real?
Right. Yeah, that's a good question. It's a good question. I don't know.
I mean, did LaFleur just hit with smoke and mirrors and win that game? I mean, I don't know.
I think Indy's defense is not that good.
It didn't seem that good in the preseason. It really didn't. Even when the starters out, just like the little brief moment where the starters was out there, I saw teams going up and down the field on that starting offense.
Yeah.
Starting defense. So.
Okay. All right. Next, we have the Titans at home we had the Titans at home against the Jets. The Jets were 3.5 point favorites. I went with the Titans. I thought the Titans couldn't screw this up, would beat the Jets, and you went with the Jets, and the Jets pulled this off.
Yeah, they pulled it out. It was close though. It was
real close. Yeah.
Titans were right there the whole game. But I just figure, the better quarterback is going to pull that out. Simply.
Yeah, and that's true. And then once again, I think Levis, made a bad mistake and cost them the game here. So once again, you're right. Should have gone with the better quarterback in this one, because it just felt like the Titans were able to tie it up at 17. But eventually, a mistake, and the Jets, with the better quarterback, close it out.
Yeah. Right. I mean, it just is what it is. He was just a better quarterback and able to engineer more points.
Right. It looks like I'm gonna make the same mistake this week when I pick the Titans again.
You got time to change your mind.
I do. All right. This was the shocker. The Vikings at home against the 49ers. 49ers were 6-point road favorites. You and I both went with the 49ers, and the Vikings won this game. But They did lose Jefferson.
They lost Jefferson. It was a contusion, though. So it's not the pull. It's not the standard hamstring pull that he get all the time. It was a contusion to his quad. So that's a little different. It's a bruise. So something hit him in the leg and caused the leg to bruise up. So he should be back pretty soon. It's not gonna be that long-term thing like you normally get. And hopefully that don't lead to more injuries with him.
Right. Well, let's go on and give credit where credit is due. And I'm going to give credit because I think you were high on this guy from the beginning. Yeah, I was not.
Oh, Sam Darnold. I told you got something around him, man. Yeah, he's playing.
He's played well. I mean, did you see what was a 97-yard touchdown pass to Jefferson?
Bomb, 55 yards of air yards.
Yes.
It was a thing of beauty. It was almost like that joint y'all threw to Shaheed over the Cowboys. It was just like that. Just two high people there, but he just outthrew them.
Yeah.
Outthrew him and once Jefferson get it, he get to do his thing. Ran across one way, stop, shift, go the other way.
Shift, go the other way. Yeah, that's enough to pull your hamstring.
Yeah, right. But man, like I said, if he got some talent around him, got some coaching, I think Sam Darnold was very serviceable.
And I think you're right. And I think it was enough to make up for his mistakes. Like, he still threw an interception. He still fumbled the ball like twice, typical Sam Darnold type stuff. But it was enough to make up for what he's done. And then you got a great receiver in Justin Jefferson that could do great things like that, the 97-yard touchdown pass. So got to give props to the Vikings to be 2-0, to lose Kirk Cousins, your starting quarterback from last season, the season before where y'all were going to the playoffs, you had him. Then you draft a quarterback to bring up to replace Kirk Cousins. He gets hurt during the offseason or the preseason, and you got to rely on a guy that stunk it up with the Jets, the Panthers, and I forgot where he was, San Francisco last season.
Yeah, San Francisco last season.
And now he's 2-0. So maybe these old quarterbacks is where it's at.
Hey, I mean, look, there's something to having a veteran quarterback in on your team, right? Because they've seen a lot of things, right? So it's easier to teach them. So when they come there, they can grab your system rather quickly because they kind of seen it all, you know, at that point. So it's kind of like when you tell them a concept, they always got a concept to relate it to. And say, oh yeah, that's like this. What we used to run back over here,
Right. And but the one thing I got to give Sam Darnold credit for, dude, is not shell shocked.
No, not at all.
Not at all. He's easily able to move on to the next play because, I've seen him with the Panthers where he had games where he threw for 59 yards and he played the entire game and only threw for 59 yards. I've seen him play horribly.
Yeah, but like I said, man, to me, I felt like I saw flashes, even with the Jets. I saw flashes when I say this dude could, if he get a little season, get some people around him, he can actually probably play pretty good. And then when he went to Carolina, I mean, that was that was a hellhole for quarterbacks, basically. I mean,
well,
who's going to do well there? I mean, nobody.
Right. We'll get to that.
Right. Right.
Matter of fact, let's move on so we can get to that one.
Right.
It's not next, but it's 2 games away. So let's hurry up and get to that one because I want to talk about that. I'm a little upset about it. Next, we had the Patriots at home against the Seahawks. Seahawks are 3.5-point favorites. You and I both went with the Seahawks. The Seahawks won this game, but I got to give props to the Patriots. The Patriots are playing very well. They took the Seahawks to overtime.
Well.
Yes.
Hey, I mean, Brissett is playing just good enough to be serviceable at quarterback. And they have that I would say classic defense for New England. Even though I saw Metcalf running down the field like 20 yards behind everybody for a touchdown. But they're playing that tough defense with a serviceable offense.
Right. Right.
They're not being real fancy with it. They're not giving you anything fancy. It's runs up the middle, runs off tackle, sweeps, short passing game, nothing long, and then play steady defense.
But doesn't it remind you of the old Patriots from
yes, exactly
2021?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not 2001, 2002, the old
Yeah,
ball control,
absolutely.
defense.
It's
Yeah.
exactly that. That's exactly what it is. It feels exactly like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man. This is kind of shocking. I mean, I seriously thought they was looking at the game, watching it. I thought they was gonna win. I
Yeah, I
thought it was
thought so
gonna be a
too.
game, you
Yeah.
know?
I mean, look, in this game, this is what I'm talking about. Ground and pound. Antonio Gibson had 11 carries for 96 yards.
Yeah.
Stevenson had 21 carries, 81 yards. So I mean, they got two running backs
Yeah.
as playing great for him right now. So yeah, I mean, that it's. I mean, at least Antonio Gibson, he didn't do much the previous game, but this game, he had the big 45-yard run, and
Mm-hmm.
Stevenson's having two good. He played well against the Bengals, played well against the Seahawks. So yeah, man, they keeping Brissett. They limited his mistakes. He only threw 27 passes for 149 yards, which is fine, especially when you got two running backs running the ball as well as they. So.
Right. And surprise of the game, you got Hunter Henry with 109 yards receiving at tight end.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I didn't think anybody would stat up with the Patriots on offense.
Right.
I stayed away from them on fantasy.
But what's crazy is Jacoby Brissett completed 15 passes. 8 of them went to Hunter Henry.
Right.
He threw for 149 yards.
Yep.
109 went to Hunter Henry.
Right. Only 49 went to the rest of the receivers.
Right. So I think we can all say, just take Hunter Henry out of the game and you probably beat the Patriots. So yeah. But anyway, man, that was I'm impressed with the Patriots. We'll see how it is when we get to our picks on whether or not I picked them. All right. Next, we had the Commanders at home against the Giants. The Commanders are 1.5-point home favorites. I went with the Commanders, and you, like a hater, went with the Giants.
The hater. Man, they win that game if they had a kicker.
Hey, woulda, coulda, shoulda. You didn't have it.
Hey, right? Look.
Why your punter couldn't kick it?
I guess he wasn't good because he missed the extra point, and they didn't like it after that. I mean, he missed the extra point when they tried to use him, and they said, "Nah, you know what? We just go for it."
Well, man, I don't understand teams. Why can't you? Why would you not get a punter that can also kick field goals?
Yes, I mean it's kicking. They should technically be able to do it. I mean, I get it. It's a different skill set slightly.
Yeah,
but you're kicking a ball.
You're kicking the ball. You should be my backup kicker.
Right.
And my place kicker should be my backup punter.
Absolutely. And the thing was, they said in practice he was hitting 40-yarders.
Okay, well.
So let him miss one. I mean, I've seen regular starting kickers miss
extra points.
Why can't he miss one?
Our kicker missed the extra point against the Cowboys.
Yeah. So what they started doing is every 2-point conversion, they went for it. Well, every time it was 4th down, they went for it when they was on that side of the field. No field goals, yo. But best believe, once I heard about that, the kicker wasn't coming back. I quickly prompt money down on the Commanders to come back and win.
Oh,
quickly.
Did you?
Yes.
Well, this is another reason why Brian Dable was on the hot seat, because I thought that was like, how do you not have a backup plan if your kicker gets hurt?
Yeah, that's bad coaching.
That's bad coaching.
You got to use your punter.
Right.
Get him on the sideline. Let him do some practice.
Yeah.
He do nothing but some practice kicks till it's time for him to punt.
And you just give up on him after he missed one extra point. You don't give him another chance. Man. And then like every team has like some guy that played soccer or was a kicker in high school on the team that can do it. You know what I mean? So it's like, why not like the Chiefs did it? They had a guy, the defensive back, that was like a soccer player who was kicking off and kicking field goals when the place kicker got hurt. He made a couple of field goals. You remember that last year? So that's on Brian Dable. All right.
It really is. And shout out to Malik Neighbors with 10 receptions for 127 yards and a touchdown.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Rookie making noise out there.
And shout out to Jaden Daniels on his first win and the offensive coordinator finally opening up the offense allowing him
Yes.
to throw the ball down the field opposed to those bubble screens all game.
Well, he still does not have a touchdown, passing touchdown. But do you know what the funny thing is?
Hmm.
No rookie quarterback has a touchdown in 2 weeks.
I could believe
Nobody.
him.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, because Caleb Williams has been struggling.
Oof. Yeah, dog. It's turning out why that we'll get to that game too.
Yeah, let's get to that. I want to get to this. The mighty Carolina Panthers are at home against the I want to say San Diego Chargers, Los Angeles Chargers, who were 6-point road favorites. We both went with the Chargers. But
Yeah.
the big thing that came out of this game
Mm.
is that Bryce Young has been benched.
Yep.
The number one overall pick from last year has
Yep.
been benched.
Again.
Wow. Again.
Didn't he get benched last year for
Well, they said he was hurt.
Mm.
They said he was hurt. And the funny thing is, the Red Rifle came in and nearly led him to a victory over the Seahawks in last season. So what I'm upset about, I think they're going to be better with Andy Dalton than with Bryce Young.
I mean, yes, there was definitely improvement from last time Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
But it wasn't much better. I mean, they didn't start winning. You know what I'm saying?
He only played one game. They only allowed him to play one game. And yes, it was against the Seahawks. I remember that game. And they dropped like 26 points or something like that with Andy Dalton at quarterback. They actually were more efficient and impactful at offense with him at quarterback than Bryce Young.
See, I feel like that Andy Dalton played like 3 or 4 games or something like that last year.
I think it was just one game. I mean, you can look it up. I want to say it was just one game he played last season for Bryce Young, and they were concerned they were going to hurt Bryce Young's feelings by allowing Andy Dalton to play. But I mean, dude, I think they have a total of 6 points in 2 games.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not looking real good. But I blame it's not just Bryce Young being bad. Like I said, man, there's no talent there. There's nothing there. I mean, your best receiver is a 34-year-old Adam Thielen. Come on, man. He can't do nothing with that. There's nothing. Look, I'm not saying that he's playing this top-notch brand of football. Everybody just dropping passes. But what I'm saying, he has no talent around him. Nobody. And nobody who's winning there. They had 4 different quarterbacks before him, and none of them did well either.
I'm not buying it. I just don't think he was that good, man. I'm sorry. I don't think he's that good.
Look, I'm sorry too, but I seen the dude play at Alabama as a true freshman. The dude was good. The dude was good. He was good. I mean, you can as a passer, not like a runner. He wasn't like Jalen Hurts back there running all the time like Jalen Hurts was when he was there. He was passing the ball, standing in the pocket, throwing passes like throwing darts. But now, one thing he did do, he held the ball on too long.
But we've seen plenty of quarterbacks who did well in college, who got to the pros and didn't show the same thing. That's not unusual.
Yeah, it's not unusual, but we usually have something. We usually kind of have a thing with them. We'll say he wasn't in a pro style system, but he was playing in a pro style type of system,
Okay.
And
Here we go.
Playing in the SEC.
Here we go. So Dalton played one game, started one game last season. He played in 3 games, but he started the one game against the Seahawks. Yes, against the Seahawks. They lost 37-27. Dalton threw for 361 yards in that game. And that's the most yards that season by a quarterback. Young never went over 361. And Dalton comes right in. This was the 3rd game of the season. He threw 58 passes for 361 yards. He had 2 touchdowns. Adam Thielen had 11 catches for 145 yards with Dalton at quarterback. So I'm more than sure the receivers, the offense probably yelled at the coaches, man, this kid is not ready. He's not ready for prime time.
Well, let me tell you this. I had Adam Thielen on my fantasy team last year, and I'm telling you, he was producing. He was the only thing producing when even when was in there. Adam Thielen actually had a decent season last year.
He only had one game. Oh, Adam Thielen. Yeah, I know.
Adam Thielen,
he had over 1,000
yards. Was balling last year. He was balling.
Yeah, he had over 1,000 yards.
He was like my number one receiver for about 4 weeks
Mm-hmm. I can believe it.
last year. Yeah. So he was there, and so he was producing even when the young boy was in there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was a
yeah.
rookie. Remember, this is only his second year. This is only his second year in the
But you
league.
ain't
And
supposed
if
to
you
be
want,
that bad, dude.
no, but look, if you want to look at it, the number one, the starting rookie receivers for this, quarterbacks for this year, they're not looking a whole lot better. They're
But
not looking a
dude,
whole lot better. And then one of them got a touchdown pass to their name yet in 2 games.
dude,
So
you still ain't supposed to be that bad. Come on.
he's not that bad. The team is
He is
that bad.
very bad.
The team is that bad, Marv.
Man, stop
It's
it,
this.
man.
This is just like what I was trying to tell you with old boy with Minnesota. You know what I'm saying, with Darnold. He has flashes. I've seen flashes even with Carolina, but he has nothing around him. There's absolutely nothing there.
There's plenty around that dude,
You
man.
know, you're not
Stop
gonna
it.
tell me Chuba Hubbard and Miles Sanders is the asset running back. You're
I
not
mean,
gonna tell me
Miles Sanders was a good running back in Philadelphia.
he not in Philadelphia no more. So what did that tell you how good he was?
Adam Thielen not in Minnesota anymore.
Yeah, because they brought the young guy in there and they had to make way because he was still getting targets. So they had to make way for the young guy.
Man, next slide, man.
Don't forget he was getting paid in Minnesota too.
Next slide, man. I don't want to hit it. You are not going to convince me that Bryce Young isn't playing well because the lack of talent around it.
It that's definitely had a lot to do with it.
They ain't got a lot to do with him overthrowing receivers.
Well, he's not just overthrowing receivers, Marv.
He is overthrowing.
He is, but it's not like you think. Their receivers not getting open either, causing him to hold the ball, and he has to go make moves.
All right. Well, I tell you what. You watch this Panthers team this weekend.
Yeah.
This week. And they're going to be way better offensively with Andy Dalton than they were with Bryce Young. I promise you that.
Way better. Okay, well, I'll hold you to that. Way better.
Way better. Anyway, next slide.
I mean, if he throws 58 times, I'm pretty sure he's gonna throw for 300 yards.
Well, yeah. Well, obviously, the coach believes in him.
58 times.
Yeah, well, the coach believes in him.
We giving him credit for 300 yards if he threw it 58 times.
Yeah.
Really?
The coach let him throw for 58 times.
The way he let him throw 58 times because they were behind.
Man, next slide. Jags at home against the Browns. I went with the Jags, which I will never do again. They stink. Lose the Deshaun Watson. You know, you picked the Browns. Browns wanted it. Just 3-point home favorites. Now them clowns are 0-2.
Yeah. I mean, it was an ugly game though.
It was, but it was raining.
It was raining. It was raining on and off in that game.
Yeah.
So, you know, that might be a consequence of that. But I mean, the Browns defense just came to play. I mean, the Jaguars couldn't really do much of anything. I mean, I didn't really see them have like sustained drives at any point in time in that game.
No, and we got to start questioning Trevor Lawrence.
Yes, under 50% passing.
Yeah.
You know, now you want to talk about have some talent around you. He has some talent around him.
Oh, there you go. Now
he does. I mean, Travis Etienne is a bona fide number one running back there. He's an animal, you know. Now,
but Miles Sanders not.
No, Miles Sanders is terrible. Stop it, man. He's a fumbleaholic in college and took that right to the pros. That's why he couldn't stay in Philly. And he's not gonna do anything after the Panthers either. He ain't did nothing with the Panthers. He couldn't even get a starting job with Chuba Hubbard.
But he was the man in Philadelphia.
He wasn't. I can't even say he was the man in Philadelphia. I can't even say that.
Can't say that.
Okay. If he was the man, he would still been there.
Well, he's old.
He ain't that old.
Oh man. Next slide, man.
He's younger than Henry. He's younger than Derrick Henry.
Here we go, man. Next slide. We're gonna be arguing about whether or not Bryce Young is good or not. Anyway, let's go to this one. This was the game that was shown in the sports bar while we're there at the casino. Ravens at home against the Raiders. I mean, Ravens were leading this game. I thought they were going to run away with it. You and I both went with the Ravens. And the Raiders, which I like them. I like the Raiders. I like Antonio Pierce as their coach. I mean, he's sitting there with the diamond earrings in his ears as he's walking along the sideline. I'm like, yo, go get him, Antonio. And they pulled off the win. A little spunky team, man.
Antonio Pierce is a motivator of men.
Yes, he is.
I mean,
Absolutely.
he came there, even last year when he came there, he turned that team around.
Yes, he did.
Which is a hard thing to do. You know?
I was so happy that the Raiders gave him that contract and gave him that job. He truly deserved it.
Right, and all the players wanted it. You know, so it kind of worked out for everybody.
Yes,
but Gardner Minshew, I mean, I thought that the Ravens supposed to have this great defense. Everybody tell me how great this defense is, and Gardner Minshew, 30 of 38, 276, a touchdown and 1 interception. 30 of 38 for Gardner Minshew.
Yeah.
I mean, Devontae Adams had a decent game, like he had a good quarterback there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Which he ain't had good stats in a long time. But he had 9 carries for 110 and a touchdown. I mean, Pierce has these boys playing. I don't even know what to say. I was shocked when they were up 10 points in the fourth quarter. I thought the game was over. I was like, okay, they're over. They're going to cover. You know what I'm saying? Let's next slide on this game. Right?
He said next slide on this.
But they weren't done.
They weren't done, man. I was impressed.
He wouldn't let them quit. They stayed around. They started shutting Lamar down for the last couple of drives, got the ball back, and Garner drove them down the field. I mean, it was really on his back.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they was running all over. They wasn't running all over Baltimore. They were throwing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I was like, look at Garner out here making plays.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. It was especially after the last game. Last game he looked absolutely terrible.
Right.
You know, so hats off to the Raiders and Coach Pierce for pulling that upset off. One of the many upsets for this weekend. But I was shocked. I was shocked, and so were all the Ravens fans in there.
Right. I know, right? They were stunned because they were doing a lot of cheering, and all of a sudden they were real quiet, and all you kept hearing was me.
So much cheering. Much cheering.
Yeah.
All the women yelling, yeah.
Yeah, I know, right?
Man, right behind me, I was like, good Lord.
I know, right?
The Raiders. It is the Raiders, y'all. It is the Raiders. But hey, as they start coming back, silence.
Yeah, well, we're gonna start ringing some alarm bells now on the Ravens. To be 0-2.
Look, they're 0-2, and they gotta go against them boys now.
Yeah, this is a must win.
They look beatable now. See, I had this down for a loss for us, but hey, they look beatable now.
Yeah, they look real beatable, man. So all right, let's finish. Let's get through these. Let's recap. All right. Oh, well, we got to spend a little time on this one. The Cardinals at home against the Rams. The Cardinals are 1-point home favorites. You went with the Cardinals. I went with the Rams, and I'm a believer now in the Cardinals. I mean, Kyler Murray. I like Kyler Murray. I like him.
Murray. He's spunky.
He is spunky. He is fast. He's got great arm talent.
Yep. He never had problems throwing an accurate pass. With some mustard on it. You know, that was his thing. I mean, of course, he's height challenged.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So people was thinking about him saying, but they counteract that by having 20-yard drops. You know what I'm saying?
And then the fact that he can scramble around and create some lanes, some throwing lanes for himself.
He makes so many plays. I mean, you can see the defenders trying to cut him off because they don't want him to get to the outside. But then it opens up lanes in the middle. He just turns right up the middle, run right up the middle.
Yeah, Kyler's having a great season, man, and I mean the Cardinals look poised to make a run, in that division.
So far, so good. If he only has, if he stays healthy, they might be able to do something. I mean, I think that they're still going to be defensively challenged. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Rams ran out of receivers in this game. I mean, Cooper Kupp got hurt. And he's injury prone. He might be gone they might throw him on IR.
Right. They might.
They probably gonna throw him on IR. So, they beat a team that was kind of hobbled, but they looked impressive while they were doing it. They really
Right.
did. And Harrison, this a coming out party for him. You know, I mean, he started off the game. I thought he was going to have 200 yards receiving.
Well, I mean, after last week, he caught only one pass.
One pass for 4 yards last week.
Yeah, well,
this week he had four catches for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
He had most of that in the first quarter. I don't know what happened the rest of the game. I know what happened. They went up and the Rams couldn't score, so they just ran the ball down their throat. James Conner had 21 carries for 122 yards and a touchdown. So they stopped them. They got up on them early, and I think they started up 21-0 on them. And once they did that, they just ran the ball down their throat. Didn't have to throw as much. But Marvin Harrison, those flashes, oh boy. He looked like he was going to be for real from this game I saw today. I mean, over the weekend.
Yeah, no, that was impressive. I'm a believer of the Cardinals, so I'm gonna keep a close eye on them. All right, next we had the Broncos at home against the Steelers. You and I both went with the Steelers. Steelers were 2.5-point road favorites, and the Steelers won this game. Bo Nix, man, he does not look good.
This was an under waiting to happen. I hope all y'all enjoyed that under. There was such an easy under to call. They didn't become close to it.
Right.
The offense in that game looked so bad. Looked so bad. And chalk this up there. I said no rookie receivers. I mean, no rookie quarterbacks has any touchdown. Yeah, Bo Nix is one of those. He still doesn't have a touchdown this year.
Well, yeah, because he's throwing interceptions in the end zone.
Yeah.
He's not doing good.
And they were bad ones.
They were bad. It's like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, but apparently they don't have a running game neither because Bo Nix not only was the passing leader, he was the rushing leader too.
Oh, really?
Yes, he was the rushing leader as well. It was only 25 yards, but that just showing you how inept
the offense is.
Even we saying how inept their offense is, or how good the Pittsburgh defense is. And when they got Watt, when Watt is healthy, that defense is different. I must say that. When Watt is healthy, that defense is definitely different.
Right.
How long he's gonna be healthy, don't know. But yeah.
All right, let's go to the next one. Chiefs at home against the Bengals. Yeah. This was a good game.
It was such a good game. It was such a good game. And it's always a good game when these two teams play each other. It's kind of like the Chiefs and the Bills.
Yeah.
But I still am convinced that the Bengals had the Chiefs number. Even though they lost, they should have won.
Yeah.
They should have won.
They should have won the game.
They should have won the game. They were up.
Well, I mean,
2 points, and Chiefs converted a 4th and 16 on a penalty.
Yes, on a pass interference.
On a pass interference call, and it was pass interference. I don't care what nobody say. You have to call that because it was so blatant. He was there too early. He was there way too early.
Right.
But damn, if they don't luck up and get that, that's definitely an F. And the Bengals just have their number, man.
Right. The Bengals play them well. They play them well. I mean, even though they didn't get the win, the Bengals play well against them. But it's just funny to me how people are going off talking about the referees saved the Chiefs.
Yeah, they didn't save them. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. I mean, I don't know nobody that turns over Mahomes like the Bengals do.
Right.
There's some reason they know a scheme or something. They got something that they just turn him over, man. He just throws 2 interceptions, an interception every time he played him.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something about him. Just something about it. They got the right game plan for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
So all right. Next, we have the Texans. The Texans were at home, 6-point home favorites against the Bears. And the Texans got this win. Not a good game. Not a good game.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so
surprisingly, considering how bad
Caleb Williams played before.
Yeah. I mean, somehow this game still ended up being close at the end. I felt Houston pulling away, but just when that was supposed to happen, it would be a turnover or something, a big penalty. Yeah, something just kept keeping that game close, man. Just kept keeping that game close enough. And I saw Caleb Williams on his last drive. It was supposed to be his his
Signature.
glory touchdown, his signature drive. He failed miserably. He failed. He has happy feet, man. He has happy feet.
Yeah, you said that.
They obviously didn't coach it out of him because he's doing it more than ever. I mean, he's throwing up the back foot, the side foot. There's no setting. There's no stepping up in the pocket. He feels anything around him, he's ready to bail.
What you said? The back foot,
the side foot. He's moving the foot all around. You know what I'm saying? He can't. And when you see him ready to throw that pass, he number one, he does this one thing that's very annoying. He rolls out to his left, right, which is his weak side because he's right-handed. And when he's getting ready to throw the ball, he twists his whole body around to throw it, like mid-throw. And I'm like, Caleb, you gotta get out of that. That's not gonna be an accurate pass. Not in the NFL.
Right.
You can get away with that in college, man. You can't get away with that in NFL. You just can't. And he does it every time. Watch next time he rolls out to the left and he has to throw. He's gonna turn, he's gonna twist his whole body while he's running, like mid-run, and twist his whole body around so it could be, like in a quarterback stand.
Right.
But he don't set his feet. He do it while he's running. And it's the weirdest thing that I'm surprised he didn't coach out of him yet.
Well, I mean, that's the thing about him. He's just undisciplined.
Very undisciplined. That's a perfect way to describe him. Undisciplined.
Yeah. I mean,
there's no discipline going on.
Yeah. And sometimes that may work and sometimes it will not.
Yes.
So, all right. Yes. Let's talk about this Monday night game. The Eagles, 6.5-point home favorites. You and I both went with the Eagles.
Another upset special.
Yeah. And the Falcons, the road Falcons win this game on a Kirk Cousins 70-yard drive. Wow.
I mean, just Swiss cheese the Philadelphia defense.
I know. Trash.
I mean, you giving them 25-yard chunk plays. 2 of them. Like right down the field. First of all, the coaching. Okay. You got 3rd down and 3 or 2 or whatever it was. Right. And they have no more timeouts left. It's 1:40 left. You passed the ball trying to get the first, I guess, when you could have just ran and tried to get the first. It was 3rd and 3. And Saquon drops a uncharacteristic easy pass. It's such an easy pass that he was routine. And he could have got the first right there. But he dropped it. But why are you risking that? Instead of taking 40 seconds off the clock.
Right.
You always going to take that 40 seconds and kick the field goal. So you giving them the full length of the field to have to score with, maybe a minute left. Now, with that being said, they scored that touchdown in 1:05 seconds. So
yeah, I know they drove all the way down that field with with a minute left. That was pretty amazing.
Yeah, man. It was. I couldn't believe what I was saying when Kirk Cousins completed that first 25-yard pass. I was like, they're in trouble because that was number one. That play was wide open. You're supposed to be guarding the sideline.
Well, yeah, that Philadelphia defense and that pass rush is not the same anymore.
No, not at all. There was no pass rush on Kirk Cousins of all people.
Right? Who can't move? He can't move. He's not going anywhere.
He can't move. He can't avoid the pressure.
Right.
No pressure, and then your number one cornerback, Darius Slay, gives up the touchdown on a 1-on-1 against Drake London. That can't happen.
Yeah.
It just can't happen. And that's such a disappointing loss for Philly. I mean, I'm glad it's in the NFC East. And since we took an L, they took an L. That keep us even.
Well, see, I needed the Falcons to lose. I needed us to go 2 games ahead of these.
Right. I got
it. But the fact that the Bucks are 2-0, we're 2-0, and now the Falcons are 1-1. Just dang it. We need to get some breathing room from them.
Yeah. Thanks, Falcons.
Thanks for joining us again. We do this thing every week. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Holla.